Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I am going to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It ain't gonna happen in this video, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Good morning. Like and subscribe and share.
Yes, please like, comment, and subscribe. But while you're subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best as well. Any reviews or recaps that I do not cover on my channel, we cover on Mrs. Best channel. We just got a new show on Mrs. Best channel. I missed the premiere of it, but I will be back on her channel tomorrow to cover Married at First Sight. And then also we have Love and Hip Hop Miami coming back November 4th. So me and Mrs. Best are going to cover that on Mrs. Best channel. And I assure you, judging by the trailer, y'all are not going to want to miss this. So please subscribe to her channel and show my girl some love. Show us some love. We try, y'all.
Thank you.
No problem. So, Belle Collective. Y'all, what I tell y'all, this episode worked on my nerves. This episode worked on my nerves for so many different reasons. One, I didn't know whose side I was on. I didn't know what I felt. I felt like I could see this person's point of view, this person's point of view. Everybody annoyed me at certain points. So I'm just like, what are we doing? So the episode opens up where it leaves off with Letitia and Amanda still talking about, Glenn sliding in her DMs. Amanda is showing her the DMs, and Letitia, oh yeah, Mandy, yeah, I remember this date. This is in 2023. Amanda, yeah. Oh wait, I remember that event. Yeah, I remember. You know what, Mandy? I have already seen all these DMs and everything. So me and Glenn, we set anew. Anything that happened in the past, we let it go. So if it's nothing from this time, it's okay. It's okay, Mandy. It's okay. And Amanda's like, well, look, I just wanted to come to you woman to woman and say, hey, this is what your man did. He was in my DMs and everything like that. And she goes, okay, I understand everything like that. And Latrice walks out. She goes, hey, y'all, can we get back to the part? She goes, no, Latrice, we still talking. We still talking. But Mandy, I fucks with you. I do. I fucks with you. We always in each other's presence. And you always told me to make up with Latrice. And I did. So I thought we was good. Why would you do this, Mandy? And everything. So they walk off and she goes and talks to Latrice. And Letitia's telling Latrice, like, okay, like it's not anything recent, it's not anything of current time. So, I don't know what you want me to do with it. And Latrice was like, look, I don't want to be put in the middle of it. I saw them and I wanted to bring this to you at some point. And I can tell you, I know for sure that he's tried to talk to her in recent time. Letitia goes, what do you mean in recent times? What you talking about? Because them DMs is from 2023. What are you talking about? And so Amanda walks back in the house and she was like, Amanda, what's going on? Like, you told me to do the DMs. That's all it was, right? And she goes, no, there was also another time in this recent time. It was, what was it? Baby, it was February 2025. Yeah, February 2025. He was trying to get at me again. So she goes, oh no, we got to handle. She goes, oh, we got to handle this. Come on, we got to handle this. Glenn, what is going on? Have you tried to talk to her? And meanwhile, the guys are coaching Glenn, like, look, don't let them bother you. Don't let you know what you ain't did. Like, don't let them get you all this upset. Don't let them see you sweat, all that. And so he's not giving Letitia any eye-to-eye contact when she's confronting Kim. And so she looks at Amanda. She goes, this happened, right? This is, and Mandy's like, talk to your husband. Don't talk to me. She goes, no, Mandy, you the one that brought this to me. No, I'm talking to both of y'all. And she goes, did y'all sleep together? He goes, no, we didn't sleep together. And so she goes, well, then what is it? And he's like, we danced. That's what it was. We just danced. I ain't take no pussy home. I ain't take no ass home. We just danced. And I'm like, oh my God. Glenn, why you got to be so ignorant with that shit? It's a simple yes
Why
or
are you
no.
dancing
That was my next point.
with like other women when you're away from your wife? You could dance with your mama, you could dance with your family, you could dance with your cousins, you could dance with your nieces. Pretty much anybody you related to, whether it's by blood or marriage, you could dance with. You could dance. That's about it. Why are you dancing? Not just with another woman away from your wife in that setting. Why are you in that setting away from your wife? And why are you dancing with another woman away from your wife? And why are you dancing with a woman that you know to be your wife's friend away from your wife? He's not smart.
He's not. He's not at all. Letitia's like, I feel so betrayed. I can't believe this. Latrice, betrayed me. Why would you bring me and put me in this position and everything? Like, this makes me look at her completely different and everything. And I'm looking at her like, girl, cut that shit out. I'll get Latrice in a minute, y'all. I'm not saying she's innocent, but I'm just like, come on, this event was not about you. Was Latrice messy for inviting Amanda? Yes. But y'all wouldn't have a show if she didn't do it. Because all of this pleasantry of Marie and Latrice making up, fine. It was beautiful. What else? So that's all y'all had. So to me, Letitia, you know what you signed up for. And then one, you also know Glenn ain't shit anyway. So I don't understand why you doing all of this. So that was pretty much the event. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this whole situation about the DMs being from 2023? Do you think Amanda was reaching because it wasn't current, or do you think this is very much still valid?
Okay, so I feel two ways. I don't think Amanda was reaching because you know me longer than you know my husband. How many times he done messaged you privately? Like,
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
and a lot of my friends can say that. The only time he's messaged my friends privately has been when he's like planning stuff for my anniversary, which were great surprises. But like, it's inappropriate for you to be reaching out to your spouse's spouse. I understand for some people they make it really close to be a friend group, stuff like that. But like, to the level that Glenn is doing it is weird. Like, if you know your spouse's spouse, text them. Like, I have friends that are married, I have friends that are in relationships. Sometimes their spouses hit me up. They do it via text, not DM. I think we're in a time now where we should understand that like doing shit in the DMs, if it's not like genuinely for business, looks shady, especially with Glenn's history. So I do feel like Amanda was not reaching because regardless on whether he shared intimate things or was trying to get at her, he shouldn't have been talking to her in her DM. Like, if you need somebody to talk to, bro, go call your wife. I'm just saying. But on the other end, she was making it seem as if these were like explicit DMs.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like she was trying to make it worse than it was when she didn't have to do all of that.
Right.
But I mean, it is weird to me also for Amanda's part. If you know this woman's husband is in your DMs, why haven't you said something to her? Why are you just now saying something? Just like off girl code, how girls operate, like you should have immediately called Letitia,
Right.
but you didn't. You gossiped with Latrice for a minute. So I don't get
Yeah.
it.
I also agree with that. And that's how I feel too. I feel like, okay, well, first of all, Amanda, you didn't mention in the last episode with Tambra and Latrice that them DMs was old as hell. Because I'm sorry, y'all, 2023, there's no point in you bringing it up in 2025. You should have brought it up then. And then also, if there was nothing really explicit, like if he ain't say send that P over here, then you don't need to tell nobody. You needed to call her and be like, hey, girl, get your husband and get him out my DMs because he over here doing too much. He don't need to talk to me. If he need to talk to me, he can talk to you. Y'all can come over on Sunday for dinner. But there's no point in him being in my DMs. Like, there's absolutely no point. So I agree with that as well. That's where my standpoint. That's why I was like, I was looking at Amanda sideways, and then but where if Amanda was gonna lead with anything, I would have led with that. I would have led with, okay, well, you wasn't at Taste trying to dance. We didn't dance together. You wasn't doing too much. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just no dance. I'm pretty sure it was some, because people dance weird nowadays. It wasn't like you had your personal space and you just gyrating your
It
body.
was a
It's
lot. I think that something did happen. I just don't think it's anything that will ever be able to be proved with text, technology,
probably.
screenshots, video. But I do think something happened between them to make her suddenly come out with this information that happened a little over a year ago. So
Hmm.
Amanda's definitely not innocent. And no shade, bitches like her who flip flop between the dick and the pussy. I said what I said. They be moving shifty as hell,
Yeah.
like with their friends as well and who they date. So I don't think Amanda is lying, but I don't think that anything is supposed to happen via text, but something explicit definitely did happen. She's a bitch you don't trust.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah. So, we're gonna go ahead and move on because this was a crazy episode. As I said, there was so much going on. The next thing we're gonna talk about is Carrie and Marie go to see Letitia at her house. And they bringing over flowers and wine. And Marie said that she normally wouldn't see it for Carrie. They had a rough start in the collective group, but they're gonna put all that aside to be there for Letitia. And so when she opens the door and they greet her, they immediately would Carrie hug her. She get to crying and talk about and then she goes sit on the couch and she tells them like that whole event was an ambush to me. And I'm surprised at Latrice because we were in a good place. I can't believe she did that. And as she's talking, Latrice is calling her. She said, "This Latrice now calling me." See, I don't even want to talk to her because how could she do that? And Marie goes, "I hate I have to say this to you because I warned you about her. So this is what you get for not trusting me because I told you she was a snake. I told you she wasn't no good. And look at what she do. Like, so this is what you get." And I said, "Well, damn, Marie. Like, that's not what she need to hear. This is your friend and she's going through emotional distraught. The last thing someone want to hear is this is what you get or this is what you deserve because you feel like you were right about a situation. You couldn't have tabled that for a later time. Or maybe just kept it as I told you Latrice was a snake. You had to throw in that this is what you get." I'm looking
And
at
that's
Marie
why the
like,
men that Marie gets look like Cedric. Stop it, Marie. Stop it. That's exactly why you stuck with a man that's just cannot live in his truth. Stop it. Marie is that friend where if you get in a fight and you lose, she gonna be like, "Well, I mean, it was one-on-one combat. I mean, yeah, you definitely lost that fight, but that's what you get. That's what you get. Sometimes you just lose them.
I
Got your
told you,
ass whooped."
I told you,
You
you
know
that
what?
girl.
That's so. Maria's the friend that's gonna tell you 1,000
Mm-hmm.
times, "Yeah, you got your ass whooped,"
She
and
like,
10 years
so
later,
I told you that girl was strong. I told
right?
you not to mess with her. I told you she was gonna whip your ass. Listen, you got to listen to me sometime.
Right. I told you,
Yeah.
but you didn't want to
Mhm.
hear me. You
You
didn't
want to
want to
hear
hear
it? Yeah.
me. And
She's
now
exactly
look
that
at you.
person. Yep.
Right. Lip
Yep.
busted up. That's Marie. Like Marie gives
Mhm.
me that. I don't like friends like that. I like to have friends that let's at the very least uplift each other. Even in holding your friends accountable, you can uplift them. Marie telling this woman that she got what she deserved essentially. When you know the shit that she go through with her husband and you know that that's really why she's crying, not because of Latrice and Mandy setup. Like, it's crazy to me. But
Mhm.
okay.
That's
Okay.
also my next point. I think I don't think she's crying because of Latrice and Mandy. I think she's crying because to me she may have believed it could have been true, and it's another dagger of her feeling like she's stupid for still sticking with this man. That's why I really feel like she was crying. I don't feel like it had nothing to do with Latrice or Mandy bringing that to her. I think it's the setting that they could bring something to her. And this is once again making her look like she a weak
Yes.
woman
It
for
comes back
sticking. Yes.
to the
Mhm.
husband. It comes back to the husband. So that was just weak of Marie to say. But Letitia, honestly, when women do this, I'm that friend that after so long, I just ain't got nothing to say about your spouse. I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. Because people will choose to stay or people will choose to leave when they are ready. So just support your friends, but don't. God, Marie, that irritated me because Marie was trying to make Latrice look like the snake, but the real snake is somebody that would kick their friend when they already down. Why are you so invested at making her feel worse about it? Like she knows it's not a good situation. You don't need to further confirm her fucked
Right.
up situation.
Mhm.
God.
100% agree with you. I do. So the next thing we're gonna look at is Latrice calls Amanda. She's driving around and she tells Amanda she's near her salon. Amanda says, "Oh, yeah, come through because of my last client just left." So they're talking, they're walking around the corner. And she said that, yes, you had to say what you had to say, but that's gonna make plant a target on me because you know the Bells are going to blame this on me. You know that they're gonna come for me with this because of how it happened and everything. And Latrice was like, in no way, shape, or form did she want that to come out that way. When she set up that game, she told her team, to come up with 10 questions, and whoever knows the couple best is going to be the winner. She didn't think that her team would put together a messy ass question. Now, do I believe Latrice? No. I 100%, because to me, my team can't just put together something without my approval. So you mean to tell me you really didn't look at each one of them questions and give your stamp of approval of that this can be asked during the thing? So you just let that lady, whoever that was, take the fall and just run with that? Because that's a weird ass question to ask a couple. Because that has nothing to do with the couple's relationship. So Latrice, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I think you knew exactly what you were doing. I knew, and I think you did want this to come out. Now, I don't think you thought it would be at the foot of your doorstep that she would be mad at you for this. You probably thought she was just going to be mad at Glendale and Amanda. That's probably what you thought initially. You didn't think that you were going to catch all the strays from it, but that's what you get for doing this. Because I wouldn't have done this. Yeah, I wouldn't have invited Amanda. Oh, if I was going to invite Amanda over, I would tell her, look, girl, don't come here with that bullshit. You and Letitia could have a private conversation outside of my house, or y'all can go to lunch and talk about this shit. Don't bring this to me. Don't bring this over here. She could have easily did that. So I'm looking at her with the side eye. I am looking at Latrice with a side eye. They then talk about, Amanda said, I love Letitia. I do, and that's why I had a hard time coming up with this and everything. But he's been always disrespectful. Like, he put his hand around my waist when we was at Taste. And it was like, well, why didn't you say that at the party? So now there's more shit, because she didn't say that. And if she did, they cut it out. So I'm just like, Amanda, this is what you can do. Whatever he did, just take it on the chin at this point. Because what are you trying to imply? What are you trying to do now, saying that there's more that could have been done? So he put his hand around your waist. What else? What are we supposed to do with that now? Mrs. Best, what are we supposed to do with that now?
I'm at a loss, but here's my thing. Latrice got every right to expose and come for Letitia's bullshit ass marriage. Because Letitia, when she's had the opportunity, done come for people, ganged up on people. Her and Marie was some bullies, in my opinion. So Latrice got every goddamn right to come at them. What I don't like is how Latrice is coming at them. You did not have to expose and humiliate this lady in front of the whole group. You already gonna show some shit on TV. That in itself is enough. Latrice could have had a scene with her, Letitia, and Amanda, and talked to Letitia that way, which would have went better, and they probably would have been able to explain more. But instead, they chose to go this chaotic route with the game. So I do think that that was planned. I do think that it was some type of a setup. But I'm not going to put all the blame on Amanda and Latrice, because there wouldn't be shit to set up if Glendale was acting right.
True.
But that's pretty much the only comment I really care to make on it.
Okay, then we can go ahead and move on. So the next thing we have Carrie visiting Mike. That's his name, right? I don't want to give that man Matt. Matt's his name. Sorry, I was gonna say that didn't sound right when I said it. That's why I was like, okay, Matt. So Carrie goes and visit Matt. He's currently training, someone for the National Baseball Association. That's that's what he does. He's an agent, and he's currently helping the guy train. And Carrie walked in. She didn't blue dry that horse hair she liked to wear on her hair, and came up in there talking about hey, I got some smoothies. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I would have got you a smoothie had I known you were here. And it was like, why are you coming to this man's professional work situation and coming in here with some smoothies, talking about some, I just want us to spend some more time together, really get back on our best accord. And he goes, we try that, but you get on your phone and you be busy. And she goes, oh no, I'm not going on my phone for pleasure. I'm actually working. So what we come to find out about Carrie and Matt is that they don't know how to, well, at least Carrie does. I'm not sure about Matt. We haven't really seen this from him yet. But Carrie is having a hard time balancing the three restaurants with being, his wife, and like giving them the husband and wife time. Because I'm sure she's a great mother. I'm sure she knows how to run the businesses. But I think in some way or form, Matt gets neglected. And we see this storyline all the time when it comes to these shows and entrepreneurs and husbands not getting their time, and usually it results in cheating, but we hope they don't get to that point. But their dynamic is awkward. They're a very awkward couple. I get they've known each other since they were in high school. I get they were high school sweethearts, but they're very awkward in general spaces with each other. It's like it seems like it's forced, like I'm forcing myself on you as your wife, and it just seems like it's not their everyday conversation. So I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, but that's what I was reading. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Carrie and Matt's interaction with each other in this particular scene?
I think their marriage is in a rocky place
Mm-hmm.
because there was an awkward interaction with them, but they're definitely in a rocky place. He's very critical of her,
Yes.
which I notice. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like he wants and would need a housewife, and I wonder what he does when he's on the road or away from home for work.
Right.
I do wonder. But yeah, there's something obviously wrong in their marriage, but at least they're both willing to be on camera and all of that. But I think when you're with someone for so long, like, because I've been with my husband since I was in high school, and when you're with someone for so long, I know at one point we had to separate to figure out, like, okay, I want to continue this and I want to continue being with this person, not because of the history, but because there's still a connection, there's still love, things like that. I feel like this is a couple that's been together since high school that's staying together potentially because of the history. Because I don't see no spark or nothing. He seems annoyed with her a lot.
Do you think, because I don't know how long Brick and Taste have been open, so I don't know, what the dynamic, but do you think that the dynamic of her opening the restaurants have been the issue because now she's equally as busy? Or do you think that this could have been an issue from the beginning that they just never addressed?
I think they have issues outside of their careers that they probably didn't address because they had kids, which is
Okay.
common. As much as these babies are blessings, y'all, statistics and science says that kids, when you have bring kids into a relationship, the odds of people breaking up go up by over 75%.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably could have fell into that. And then you add careers to that because you
Right.
have to pay for them kids. you know? So I feel like they probably are going through a rough patch. But I can't say what will happen in their marriage, but he more so seems like she seems very aware that something's wrong, but he seems aware that something's wrong. It seems like he wants something to change, but then he also seems very annoyed with her. So I don't know how they'll move forward, but they're entertaining. I'm just tired of her hair, but they're entertaining.
Child, when I tell you, it must not be no black hairstylists in Gulf Coast, Mississippi, or in Biloxi, which I find hard to believe.
I got a cousin that's one, literally, does hair
Yeah.
in a salon in Biloxi. So
Yeah. It's just because
she just
it,
don't. I feel like she don't want to perm her hair, but I also feel like she don't want to wear her hair natural. But then the humidity with that hot comb is not working because that's what it looks like. Like I've been there with my hair. This is why I don't visit my family in New Orleans and Mississippi like that. That humidity is not a game. Like when I say you will walk outside and your whole hot comb is toe up.
Well, then she needs to get a protective style because she's way too
Yep.
pretty for this. Like, she's way too pretty for this. Like, I almost feel like she just playing with us on TV because
It
there's
also
no way.
ages her how she lets her
Yeah,
hair be. And she had her hair together in a later scene you'll go over with her and her husband. Um, it looked a little better, but it was still just very fluffy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll see. So, yeah. Moving on from there, Marie goes and visits Cedric. You know, she didn't upgrade it, y'all. She didn't got her a Jeep Compass now from the local enterprise, and she is going over to Cedric. And apparently, Cedric has a cosmetology school next door to his home. So he bought a 2-for-1 lot and turned that into a school, which is brilliant. I have to give it to Cedric. That's a brilliant idea. You know, cosmetology is huge in our community. So I feel like, you know what? Great. So she walk in, she go, "Hey, Cedric. Oh my God, this brings back so many memories. You remember we was in cosmetology school together?" And she go, "What you doing? You touching up your beard trying to get rid of them gray?" He said, "Yeah, Marie, you know, I know you like the gray." She go, "Yeah, you know, I always love some old me and Cedric." I said, "Marie, that is too much information." But she said,
I'm sorry.
but anyways, y'all, she said, "So, you know, I understand that, you know, Cedric, you have your home next door and then you have this school. But I'm wondering, Cedric, like, what are we gonna do? Because I need you to get rid of that bed. Because that bed represents other women. And if we gonna be together, I need for you to cleanse and do all of that. And then also, are you gonna really stay here? You're not gonna stay with me and Zuri. You're gonna stay here at this. Well, you know, Marie, you have to understand. I have this school and I have students. You know, my son is back in cosmetology school, so you know it makes sense for me to live here and then also work here. It just makes more sense. Well, Cedric, I just want you to understand that you know we're trying to really put together I love and everything. And we can't do that if we're going to be in separate quarters because that's how the cheating happened. That's how everything happened. So Marie is pretty much saying that, you know, there was infidelity in her marriage. And there's a lot of things that Cedric did that, you know, kind of reminded her of that time. So she wants him to kind of step it up a little bit and, you know, really put an effort in a relationship if they're going to make this work. If we really believe this storyline, which I don't, but if we really believe it, that's what she wants from him. So as she's, you know, doing his beard and everything, you know, messing it up because she was putting that shit all on his skin and stuff. He said, "Wait, Marie, not on my skin." So she's rinsing it off and she goes, "How did you like the party, you know, at the Roger?" He goes, "It was fine, but it was a lot of drama, you know, and all that stuff going on." And she said, "Listen, I wasn't involved with that surgery. You know, I was just a guest in the Rogers home, but, you know, I really felt for Leticia when, you know, she was going through all of that because, you know, I have been a woman when, you know, sitting somewhere and some mistress come talking about she done been with my husband. I have been there before. So I really felt for Leticia in that moment because, you know, she really just broke in that moment. And, you know, y'all watch that Latrice because, oh, and I'm just like, you got to watch you too. I like Maria. I do. I've grown to really love Marie, but I don't like this her inserting that strong opinion about Latrice when she need to be looking at herself too, because you weren't as innocent either in the 6 seasons you've been on the show too. You've done some dirt as well. So you're not as innocent, but that was their little scene. Mrs. Best, how'd you feel about Cedric and Marie's scene?
I don't take it seriously.
So
I,
you don't.
I don't, this is not real. So I just don't take it seriously. When you really in a relationship with somebody, this is not how you talk. Ain't nobody, if y'all really trying to get back together and that's the father of your kids and he telling you he can't live with you so that he could teach at this little raggedy ass barber school, little one hut shack. He can't have that many students that he can't be at home with his girl and his kid. So what woman is gonna be okay with that, especially rebuilding with your ex-husband? With him telling you not only is he not ready to move back in, but he probably may not ever do it. because he got to worry about the barber school. For whatever reason, his son being in cosmetology school impacts this. Now, maybe he don't want to be in Marie's house because of the bullet holes. I don't know, but I mean, I, that's all I could say about these two. I don't. Why is she doing this?
Marie, there has to be somebody. There has to be something that, there has to be something different that you could have brought to the table this season. I find it very hard to believe that you led with this and all the producers like, oh my God, Cedric, yes, we can definitely see the vision of you and Cedric being together. Yes, we really love this for you, Marie. Yes, I can definitely understand. It is given this is forced. It is given that you want to have this epitome of having a man on the show because I guess last season you opening up another mental care facility and also going back to school and everything wasn't enough for you because I felt like last season you did pretty good without Cedric, which is what endured me to you because I felt like you were very authentic last season. This is backpedaling, Marie. This is going back to season one, Marie, that I did not like. So I want you to cut this out. Listen to Watch Your Mouth reviews. Listen to James. Listen to someone who is championing you when I didn't before. This is not it. There's no way you can convince me this is real. I don't believe it. Just like I don't believe. Never mind. I was gonna go left, y'all. I was gonna go left. Let me leave that man alone. But yeah, I need better from Marie. I do. I need better because I don't buy this at all. So moving on from there, we have Carrie at her house, and she is, putting together a nice little backyard oasis. And Carrie, listen to your cousin. Baby, this is what you do at night once the sun go down and you light up your backyard and you make it look romantic. The fact that you did this in broad daylight. I know I'm supposed to appreciate you just doing this at all for Mr. Matt, but I'm sorry. This was not in any way, shape, or form cute to me. I actually was a little on the offended side. I'm not gonna lie. Because imagine me coming home in broad daylight. I live in Arizona. It is hot as hell here.
Well, they
I'm
not in Arizona.
no. Let me get to
Some
my point.
people like sunlight.
No, if I like romance, let it be sensual. Let me see the lights. Let me see,
You can have a sensual moment without there being lights and all of that. Like sunlight could be the exact same thing. Different strokes, different folks.
Okay, well, let me put it to this way. If it's in the sunlight, I don't want the shit in my own backyard.
Oh Lord.
It would take me to the beach if that's the
Well,
case.
people gotta understand a marriage tip from Mrs. Best. This is how you stay married. It's not about the specifics or the details, it's about the gesture.
Take it for
None of
us,
that other shit matters.
newly engaged,
If
somebody
somebody
who.
takes the time, newly engaged or not, because I was this way when I was newly engaged too. If somebody takes the time to put something together for you so that you can feel love, sunlight, lights, ambiance, none of the shit matters. It's the gesture. This is why people be alone. It is the gesture. I'm not saying you can't advocate for what you want, but if someone does something on their own for you to make you feel special, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, let me be quiet. I don't know shit, y'all. It's true.
I ain't say you don't know anything. I'm just saying I get where you coming from. That's why I'm so quiet because I understand what you are saying.
Still go for what you
100%.
want. I'm not saying do not put to the side. If you want nighttime lights and ambiance, make that known in conversation in a kind way, like
No, I want to.
casually.
No, I
But
want a hotel
appreciate the
suite.
gesture.
And no, I want a hotel suite with candles that have a heart on it and like chocolates and nice little 2003 Dom Perignon, kind of situation. That's what I want.
Sure. I had that on a cruise once. I think we ended up doing it on the balcony.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
just ignored the fuck out of them cute little flowers, and they put like a little bear together with the towels and all this other stuff. We said, well, wine and a view will do.
And hey, at least it did what it's supposed to be done. Not to say they didn't get no nookie after this, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. See, it did what it's supposed to do. That's why I'm saying. See, you just proved my point right there. Look at you. Look at you. See,
I
I'm just
didn't
saying.
look at the damn flower fucking petal roses or any of that. I noticed
Yes,
it.
you.
I
Yes, you
ended
noticed it.
up
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't tell me you did not look at that shit.
he
You
didn't do
noticed it.
that though. The
See,
cruise line did.
but
Hell.
it don't matter. It still was done at the end of the day. You just see. I told
But
you.
that's not what got me going. It was the wine and the motion of the
It was
notion.
built up. Okay, the build up to the wine that got you to there. It was the atmosphere. I'm sorry, you just lost right there. See, look at you. You just lost right there. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is it was cute. I'm not going to take away from Carrie. It was a cute idea. It really was.
It better not have been
I'm
summertime though, because it's Mississippi. If it was summertime in Mississippi and she put that shit outside, then I am on James' side. And she had him fucked up, but it don't
well,
look like they
judging
was
by her
hot.
hair that we forgot to mention that we said we were. It was definitely summertime because
Oh
when I tell
Jesus.
you her hair looked a different grade of puff when
She
she sat
loves a
down.
good ponytail too.
She loves a
She
good Coney. She loves like it reminds me of you remember season 2 of The Flavor of Love when New York had all that hair on her head when she came back to live with them in the house. That's what it was giving. It was like it was way too much hair. It's way too much. It's too much. Now I'm not saying she need to sleek it and just wear like a great like straight hairstyle, but it's like when you live in humidity and you live in those territories, you got to understand, especially when you're a beautiful lady like that, your hair should not look sweaty, puffy, and just no, it should not look like that. I'm just saying. But as they were sitting down, eating their strawberries and stuff, and drinking their, mimosas or whatever they had, she says that she loves her husband, and they've been together since they were 15 and 16, and she just knew that this was the man that she was gonna marry. And let me tell y'all, them old pictures of him, he was fine as a motherfucker. I was like, damn, okay. I don't know what happened. I mean, he's still cute. Don't get me wrong, but I'm telling y'all, sometimes people stress you out where you don't look the same no more. So yeah, y'all gotta be careful. That's why I always be happy, even be joyous, even when shit is fucked up. Just say, you know what? Be optimistic in marriage. That's my advice. Be optimistic. I wasn't. So, but he really appreciates her putting the effort, and he really appreciates her making time for him because that's what he wants. He wants her to make time for him. He wants, you know, he just wants the love that I'm assuming they had in the beginning. I don't know. We just met this couple, but I could definitely see there's a lot of love. I think there's a lot more history too, and sometimes history can look more aesthetically enlightened more than actual love. Like some people say I have a lot of history with this person, and I don't see me going nowhere and stuff, and so they'll really put a lot of inference on that. And I don't like when couples do that. By the way, that is crazy to me because history shouldn't mean a damn thing if it's not pleasant. I'm just saying. But anyways, anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best, before I move on to the last scene?
I think that Carrie and her husband are having, I think they have a good intimate life. I also think that's probably keeping them going, but nothing else to add.
Okay. Yeah, I think they do too. That's probably why their hair look like that. But I'm just yeah. So, anyways, y'all, let's move on. Let me stop. Carrie, I really like you. Like, I don't really
She's
like
a great addition.
like you really do fit this mold. I do. Your life is heavily entertaining.
If
So
we
I love
could
it.
like cycle in, take their time. Maybe that's why Bell Collective took so long to come back. Take your time finding quality bells to hire
Mm-hmm.
and slowly transition some of these old cast members out.
Yep. Starting with the head of the table. But speaking with the head of the table, we have the scene with Letitia and Glenn. And y'all, I'm really not trying to. I'm trying to be nice. I really am. But Letitia and Glenn, he's talking to his stepdad. They seem to have a really good relationship. And he said, they always coming for me and my family. It ain't right. They always doing stuff and everything like that. And I just, and he said, son, you a good man. You a good man, Savannah. You a good man. You know exactly what you do. You got the love for the family and everything. And I love the pep talk. I do, y'all. But the stepdad didn't watch the show and didn't,
No, this is a problem in the black community. And black women notice it a lot because we have to endure a lot of pain from black men sometimes because of the lack of accountability and
yeah,
the lack of necessary parenting once people are adults. Glenn's family has probably been telling him, you have a good heart, you care for your family, and that's enough. Now, my best friend's in Mississippi, and she tell me that it's very common for married men to step out on their wives, the wives to forgive them because they say things are about intention and who matters and who you actually come home to and all of that. To look at Glenn in the eye and tell him that he is a good man when his wife is in pain and being confronted with bullshit because of his past transgressions is ridiculous. Just because you work a job and support your family and are faithful for a small amount of time does not make up or erase for the many years of bullshit that he put her through. I don't even like Letitia, but she does not deserve, no person deserves to be put through something like this in a relationship, but especially in a marriage where you're like supposed to be with your ending, your end person. So I'm looking at the stepdad and I'm like, Negro, hold him accountable.
right.
You man up to help him man up because they both was operating like a bunch of bitches. It's nice that he uplifted him. I think that's important too, but hold him accountable. You need to make this right. You need to step up. You need to not sit in a space of silence and go and make things better. And then he could have uplifted him. Like, I'd be so annoyed. I'd
I
be
agree.
so annoyed.
I agree. That annoyed me. But Letitia walks in the garage and she goes, "Oh my goodness, it looks so nice out here. And oh my gosh, and look at y'all working." And I'm just looking at Letitia like, see, this is what I can't stand about her. I just can't. She go, "Oh my God, Daddy, I love you. Go in the house real quick. I gotta talk to Glenn." Yes, I love you. I'm just like, girl, if you don't cut this shit out. And she talks to Glenn, and Glenn is pissed because he hasn't talked to Cliff. He's mad that they would even come at him like that. And he said, "You need to watch Latrice because she always doing something." First, it was Antoinette, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" Before we go any further, what you mean? First, it was Antoinette. Are we still sticking with Antoinette was trying to talk to you, Glendale? No, wait a minute.
Wendell
I'm sorry.
wishes, dreams, has thoughts he cannot control of talking to a woman with one career and as accomplished and attractive as Antoinette. He would wish. Instead, he gets DM responses from the sometimes lesbian.
Glenn, we're not.
Don't do. And she came back on this show specifically to clear that shit up.
Right.
And then the first moment he got, leave her alone. She ain't got nothing to do with it. She ain't talking about y'all. She not on the show. Leave Dr. Antoinette alone. I wish
Because
she would have stayed.
me too, because I needed now Antoinette. Now you got to come back and read her for filth again, because y'all are not going to expect me to believe that Dr. Antoinette Lyles would waste her time when if Antoinette was going to open her legs to married men, she was better off with the fine ass contractor that was building the practice. Because that man was fine as hell. So you mean to tell me that if she was going to stray with a married man, it was going to be you?
Let me tell you, doctors, they about money. If she had to stray with any married man that was on this cast, the last one that it would be Glendale.
Right.
I go to
So
Cliff, who at least could keep a business and a check. before I go to Glendale, especially because you know that'll be a quick little fuck. He old, you know he probably ain't got no stamina no more. Give him the best 3 minutes of his life and get you a check written. I'm
I
trying to tell
just
you, but Glenn, he gonna come home smelling like oil in the ocean, and then the face that only a mother could love. And Letitia, no,
I was thrown away when he said Antoinette's name like that. I said, wait a minute, Glendale, wait a minute. Now we're going too far with this. Now I was with you with the whole Amanda situation because I thought that was messed up too. But don't drag Antoinette in y'all foolishness. Don't do that. Don't do that to her. Like that's not because you know damn well that lady wasn't trying to talk to you. Come on
right?
now. Like we're not gonna play like
But
this.
maybe he was saying it because he was trying to talk to her.
That's what, yeah, if anything, because let me tell you, I don't even think Antoinette really liked black men like that. I really don't think she do. And so to me, she definitely not gonna stray with somebody who makes less than her. She don't give me that type of lady. She just don't. I'm sorry, y'all. I could be wrong and I don't really care. But Antoinette does not give me she finna mess with somebody that make less than her. She don't give me that at all. So yeah, that was he spun me for a loop with that one. But this thing, you know, you should see. Hold on, y'all. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of people always bringing this to me. I'm just tired of this. I'm just tired of. I just want them to leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Why they always got to do this to me? I am so tired of this. I'm tired of them always bringing stuff to me. I'm tired. Please, just leave me alone. And I'm sitting there, as much as I want to sympathize with her,
You
man,
also want to get a tiny violin.
I just, what the fuck was that? Oh my God, girl, these people with these cars out here are just ridiculous. But, anyways, as much as I want to really sympathize with the teacher, because I get what she's saying, man, they would not have ammunition if your man stayed in his household. They would not have this to bring to you if he wasn't out there messing around. They wouldn't have no baby mama allegedly out there had he not did this. And the fact that y'all were trying to cover it up in the beginning, let's not forget that, Letitia, you were trying to cover it up. And then when it got to then you started going after him, which wasn't really fair to Glenn. Because to me, it's like you accepted this shit because that baby mama shit happened years before the show. So to me, it was kind of like, okay, we want to sympathize with you, but the person you need to be looking at is you because you chose to stay with him, and no matter how this looks to the world or whatever, I can't have sympathy with you because initially you chose to stay. So when you choose to stay, you have to expect, because it's happened before, you have to say, okay, it's a potential that it could have happened again. Y'all made a new on the New Year's Day. Doesn't mean that on December 31st he couldn't have been with somebody else. It said, well, baby, you said we were starting anew. So it was December 31st when I did. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, Letitia need to cut that shit out. Like, she really does.
Yeah, that's not a real solution. You could tell they haven't like done any like real counseling or work
No.
on their marriage just based on how they're handling it. You can't just erase the past and say, okay, we're going to start anew. When the way that you entertain, interact with each other, all of that is literally based on what you've been through with each other in the past. They both don't have the capacity to fix a relationship, especially one as damaged as their own. They
Right.
both don't have the capacity or common sense to understand that they need to fix themselves and get some individual therapy to even figure out if they want to be together. And I think people get so caught up in Letitia and Glenn's foolery season after season that we forget that there is a little boy involved, an innocent child. Can you imagine what it must be like? Like, for it's hard to watch this ignorant shit through the TV. Can you imagine what it must be like to be a kid in that household, eating corn from a skillet and having to deal with your parents like constantly arguing and your dad constantly accused of doing shit, but then disappearing for days at a time and like all of this craziness. So I want them to leave the show, or
Yeah.
I want to only see Letitia filmed going forward. Because if you take Glenn away from Letitia's storyline, she doesn't have one.
I mean, one that keeps her hands clean. I'm gonna say it like that.
She's not that interesting. If you take away Glenn's stuff, like, okay, she do messy stuff like Marie, but we don't need two Maries on the show. So
Right.
I don't see her having a place. I'm not trying to be mean. I know what it feels like to be cheated on. I know what it feels like to have problems in a marriage, not really like theirs, but I understand what it's like to not be in a good
No,
space
yeah.
with your partner. So I don't want to just be a cruel person. I'm sure that she has feelings that she's going through, but I don't respect when people go through something with their spouse and then misdirect that anger towards other people. Like, she has a right to be slightly upset, but she needs to address her spouse, not be making peace and crying to the nigga that put the tears in your eyes.
My point exactly. That is my point exactly. It's like you need to check him first, and because they wouldn't have it as ammunition if y'all hadn't loaded the gun. Like, I'm just sorry. That's just how I look at it. And I could be wrong. And as I told y'all, I could be wrong. But to me, they wouldn't have it as ammunition had them two not loaded the gun. Like, that's just what it really is.
Yeah.
So you can't get mad at them for taking shots when y'all loaded the gun. They
And then
wouldn't
protect
have
your
it.
marriage, Letitia. Miss, I'm about women, woman empowerment. You supposed to be a boss. Woman up, bitch. Protect your marriage. Cause everybody was coming for a Latrice and Cliff marriage, and she just got to a point where she don't tell us too much, but still let us know a little bit
Yeah.
and handle her stuff with her husband separately from everybody else. That's what you supposed to do. Like, protect your marriage, bitch. If you gonna stay with the nigga any damn way, then do something so that you're not allowing yourself to be put in situations where you can be ambushed often. Like,
Exactly.
I'm just like, gosh, she got to do something though. It's like she just sitting in it and crying and then blaming other people. Like, girl,
Yeah,
do
it's
something.
annoying. Yeah, but that was Belle Collective, y'all. That was the show. It was a annoying episode. No Tambra this episode. We gonna see her next week. Which once again, I don't know why Tambra is here, but okay. But that was pretty much it. Thank you guys for being here. I got to go. It is already 9:10. I'm supposed to be halfway dressed by now. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We will be back on Mrs. Best channel tomorrow for Married at First Sight to cover episode 2. I hope to see you guys all there. Thank you once again. Like, comment, and subscribe. And shout out to the replay gang. Thank y'all for being here. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.